Oh.
One of these bulbs, some bromine,
Oi.
and in the other, I have a vacuum.
A vacuum.
And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy. So without the entropy constant,
Sorry, guys, I was muted. What? Got to unmute myself. Anyway, like I was saying, tonight is talking about thermodynamics, guys, just not the presentation. So the presentation will be Wednesday. I'm going to work on it tomorrow night while I'm off. Sorry, guys, about that. But tonight we're going to be talking a bit about thermodynamics and having fun about space and all that stuff. So, we got in Jeff Conkle, Michael Kahn, and PJ Cruikshank. Hello again, guys.
Doing
Hello. Yo, yo.
Yo, guys, I still flat and Jesus still love this.
Uh,
You might have heard that for the second time tonight. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So you guys had a good day so far?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm doing a bit of travelling back from Vicky's to here. Went and picked up my new laptop and, yeah, was blessed by that.
Yeah, man.
Told Vicky not to get me, though, but she forced it on me.
How dare you,
Yourself,
Vicky?
PJ.
How dare you, Vicky, get him a laptop?
You know,
So rude.
isn't
It's
it?
so bad,
Isn't it?
eh? I mean,
Pick
really.
it off him, Vicky, and send it me.
But we can be counting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good to see you guys. Thank you for coming. Just gonna say hi to everybody in the chat quickly. We got Jeff Conkle in Triple X, Glenn Sash. Good to see you guys. Pirate Man, who was here, not here anymore. Thank you for coming. Bible U, good to see you, Paula. Thank you for coming. Michael Kahn, obviously. PJ, Alan Nostra, and hey mate, good to see you. Igor, thank you for coming. Yannick Desinger, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Richard G, hello mate. Glad you could make it. The Snoot 72, good to see you too. And I think that's everybody. Carl Apple, hello, hello. Thank you for coming. And INFE and XB Black Ice. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming. Yeah. So tonight we're just going to have a bit of a chat about thermodynamics. Like I said, my presentation will be Wednesday night because I want to do an actual proper demonstration. So tonight's just going to be a kind of introduction. You know, just chatting about it a bit because it seems people want to talk about it. And I definitely can't take another Witsit tonight that I did last night. No. It made me feel almost like I'm going to have a heart attack or something. It was like really bad.
How long did it take you to get the cramp out the soles of your feet? Please, see it, Witsit, see it.
Somebody actually, one of the guys, I think it was Jack of all trades or whatever, actually took a snippet out of that where I'm saying all that stuff. Where I'm begging him. I just laughed. I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a good sound bite.
Yeah, we can actually watch it quickly if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
First, hello, TB, hello, and Jeff Gassett, how's it going, guys? Good to see you. Let's see if I can quickly get that on screen. I think it was Jack of all trades. Well, let's just go to mentions. How am I going to get mentions here? Jack of all trades.
Master of none.
Yeah, Jack of all trades, master of none, exactly. Where am I going to find him now? Let's see if I can quickly search for it, guys. You guys are allowed to talk, you know.
Go to there.
Oh, okay.
I think I can find it. I think I can find it. Oh, here we go. Jack of all trades. Is it showing on screen for you guys? There we go. Okay. Just listen to this voice. I couldn't help but laugh. Please, Winston. Please, trigonometry. Please. Using a triangle. He's giving it to you again, Winston. Come on, man. Please. Please. You are measuring using a triangle. Please. I had to laugh at that.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, but that's practically what happened.
But what point in it though? Like, was it an attack on you?
Yeah, that's what they think. It's an attack. Somehow that's some attack. He's calling it bromance. Yeah.
We pass it off as Kai begging him for something.
Speaking of awesomeness, tomorrow night is going to be awesomeness on Michael's stream. Space is fake, guys. I think it's going to be epic.
Sure it is.
Definitely.
Sure is.
So I sent it. I put the link in the chat for you guys. If you haven't subscribed to Michael already, please do so.
Did you put this in Elements? The first time I've seen this.
It looks nice, eh? Actually,
Yeah,
it's a good job, mate.
Looks excellent, dude.
Getting better at them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
thumbnails. In the
Definitely.
meantime, I'm still trying to suss out how to bloody get a video started. I've recorded one 3 times on Saturday, and I still couldn't do it because the middle kept blimming muting out. It's terrible. It was terrible. 9 minutes worth as well.
Okay. I think we're gonna start off with thermodynamic systems. I think that's a good start. That's nice and clear and simple for people. You guys agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, with thermodynamics, you get 3 types of systems, guys. You get a isolated system. You get a
Closed.
just now have to. They're gonna say, "Oh, you can't spell." You get a closed system, and you get an open system. Okay. What's the difference between these ones, guys?
Closed. Is it no isolated? Nothing gets in nor out. Closed. In but not out. Open in and out.
No energy. No matter exchange.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can make it a bit smaller. Where is it? 28, 18. Okay, we're going to make it bold. And we're going to make it red. Oh, sorry. Red. Okay, so that's isolated. Okay? What's a closed system?
Nothing can get
Just
out.
energy, isn't it?
Just in. Yeah.
No matter. Only energy exchange. Oopsie. I hope the ballers are going to get this. It's like this is the most simplest way of trying to explain it to them. And then we have the last one, which Earth is claimed to be. Okay? What does that say?
Free love.
Energy.
And matter.
Matter. Exchange. So that means they do exchange in an open system. Now we can draw it out for them. If you have an isolated system, which is just a hypothetical system, that's why they call it the universe is... Oh, Dr. Flatzoid. No. Okay. An isolated system is just a hypothetical, because the isolated system would be the end boundary for all systems. So this would be a hypothetical which they would include as universe, or as everything is. But let's just build a isolated system. And we're going to say there is no exchange. Is there a cross here? I don't know if there's a cross. I don't see one. Anyway, there is no exchange through its boundaries for energy and for matter. Okay? Simple stuff. I think we're getting to that very simply. Now we get to a closed system. Okay, I'm just going to draw another closed. What did we say? No matter comes through. So we have a closed, no matter, but energy does come. But energy does come through. So the energy can come through. Now we're going to have an open system. An open system would mean there's an opening. So an open system means that the energy and the matter can pass through its boundaries. Am I explaining it as simple as I can, to like you would explain to children, maybe?
I think, yeah, you're doing it in that kind of kindergarten style, definitely.
Okay. Now let's go into
They
even
still
more.
might not get it.
Let's go into even more
You're
detail.
not using crayons.
So let's go into more detail. Let's say this is something that Dell doesn't like, a gas particle. It's just for fun of it.
He doesn't deny them. He just doesn't believe they're real.
No, he doesn't deny them while he says, I deny them. I don't deny gas particles, and then this is why I deny it. Yeah, makes so much sense. Okay, so we've got a gas particle in that isolated system. We've got a gas particle in the closed system, and we've got a gas particle in the open system. So, let's say that gas particle is bouncing
you've got
around.
Question from a ballot, actually.
I do?
Yeah.
Igor, what is the system that is almost closed but not perfect? You only get 3 types of systems, either closed or open. There's no in between, Igor.
You can't have almost perfect, can you, really?
It's either open or it's either closed. That's how it works. There's no such thing as almost closed. If it's almost closed, then it's open.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, back to this gas particle is bouncing around in all directions constantly in the system, okay? Mm-hmm. So it's non-stop bouncing, hitting the walls of the container.
Mm-hmm.
Can it escape? No. Now let's say we've got a heat source like the so-called sun on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun is putting energy onto the system. Obviously, on an isolated system, you can't, because it's the universe, it's the end boundary. Yeah. But for hypothetical sake, it's putting energy onto the system. What do we read here? No exchange in energy. So is there going to be energy transmitted to the system? No. So the energy from the system can't get out, and the energy inside the system can't get in. The gas particle can't get out, and nothing from the outside can get in. Now let's do the same for the closed system. We got the so-called heat source. On the outside. What does the system tell us? Oh, wait. The energy can pass the boundaries. Okay? So the energy from the outside system goes and passes into the system, while the system's energy can get released to the surrounding system around it. So therefore, just like the, but I'll get to that. Just I think let's just keep with systems now. Then we'll get to the gas particle. Like I said, I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Okay, so energy can go in and energy can go out, but the gas particle is still bouncing around in all directions, not leaving the closed system. Now we go and take the sun again to an open system. What's going on? The energy is going into the system while the energy is going out the system. While this thing is bouncing around, this particle is bouncing around in all directions. But as we know, gas particles can only change direction with a collision. They got what we call perfect elastic collisions. So when this gas particle, let's say, goes down and hits the floor here, it bounces up, it bounces there, and it bounces away. Will that gas particle ever return to the system?
No.
No, because it goes away. It does not exchange any kinetic energy whatsoever. Now we move on to the bit more complex stuff, like I was saying. You guys ready for that, or should I stop? You guys got any questions?
All good. All good.
Negative.
What?
Negatory.
Oh, this was for ballers, not us.
No, it's just for everybody. Just for the fun of it. So much people ask me about this.
Igor's got another question.
What is it? He usually has.
Well, I think Igor should send a super chat if he wants questions answered. How's that?
That's a good idea. That's actually
Good
Because the
idea.
guy asked stupid questions like telling me electrolysis doesn't work to run a motorbike for 600 Ks. Then I send him a link. Yeah, weird.
Did you send him a link? As
Yeah,
well?
I sent him a link of a guy that literally did it on his motorbike with using electrolysis to fuel his bike. So he uses water. Whoopsie! He just changes the water every 600 kilometers. The water.
Yo, Spud.
Hey, Spuddy. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. So anyway, on to the more complicated, I would say, with quotation marks, because this was where Phil Bell seems to not understand what happens. Well, then again, I don't think he even understood the part we just read now when he said, look at that black stuff. It's violating the law of entropy. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, Otmo, what now? Candid 3, you already got it wrong. No, I got nothing wrong here. How about you come in and tell me where I got it wrong? How's that sound?
I'll put the link in.
Yeah, thanks. So, Candid, you're going to come in, tell me I got it wrong? Come show me where we got it wrong.
The old baller.
Yeah, the old
You got it
baller.
wrong.
No, you don't understand. Okay, then tell me how. And then, yeah, look at this. You got it wrong. Bye-bye. So coward's way out. Run away.
And if you decide to come back, there's the link.
Does he think I got it wrong? Okay, you know what? Let's do this. How about MIT? We're going to use MIT.
Yeah, I think they're I think they're a little bit well known, aren't they?
MIT.
Pleading to authority and all that.
Oh, I love this.
The following content is provided under a Creative Commons.
For a different lecture.
Let's see where he says open, closed, and it should be. There's explaining the different laws. It should be explaining that the system soon.
It says, if you wanted to build a boat that took energy out of the air, out of the warmth of the air, to degrees Kelvin.
Okay, let's see where you
A little
go.
bit of time, but they're important. And when you
here's
get
the
to a problem
systems.
set, really nailing down what the system is, not more nor less in terms of the amount of stuff that's part of the system, is going to be often very crucial.
Candidate 3, no elastic collisions with a container. Kinetic energy gets lost. Okay. Let's first show you this. Gas has Collisions. Gas particles are constantly moving and colliding with each other and with the walls of the container. Note the keyword container, guys. Collisions between gas particles or collisions with the walls of the container are perfectly elastic. This means that there is no loss of kinetic energy in the collisions. The particles act like a perfect hard sphere that bounce off each other and change their direction and kinetic energies, but not the total energy. Oh boy, Candid.
Isn't it? Smile, Candid.
Well, fancy that.
Oh, wow. Did that take any effort?
No. But this alone debunks the whole of Phil Bell's argument, guys. Literally. And he's so dumb, he doesn't even know what that means. But don't worry, that's going to be in my presentation. For now, we're just having some fun. Literally making it as child's play for these people. Okay, now Globies, please listen to what the guy's saying about thermodynamic systems.
So you've got the system. For instance, it could be a person. I'm the system. I could be a system. It could be a hot coffee in a thermos. Okay? So the coffee and the milk and whatever else you like in your coffee would be the system. Be a glass of water with ice in it. It's a fine system. Volume of air in a part of a room. Take 4 liters on this corner of the room. That's my system. Okay. Then,
Kenneth, he says, no elastic collisions with the container, not with particles. It literally says it here.
What is he on
It
about?
says it on screen for you, Candid. Maybe you got problems reading or listening. Do you need help to get to seek a mental professional help or something, or do you need some medication?
I don't get why there wouldn't be elastic collisions because of container.
The guy is a numbskull, that's all. He thinks somehow it makes a difference if
It needs a container, so why wouldn't it?
No, but the guy is so dumb, he thinks there's going to be a difference if a gas hits another gas or if it hits another surface like a container. Like, that's going to make a difference.
Well,
Yeah. Flatzoid, a man I worked with me today, he remembered watching the moon landing and how fantastic it all was. I don't have the heart to tell him. He was so in love with it, just let him keep it. I think that's why I'm different. I would tell him, did you know it's fake?
You're not reading it properly, by the way, and you're not clicking on link.
What? Re-quit it?
Reread it, it should mean.
Gas particles
You're
are
not
constantly...
You're not reading it properly, and you're not clicking on link.
Okay.
Oh, that's why.
Okay. Gases are composed of large numbers of particles. Don't tell Dell, please. He doesn't like the word particles. That behave like hard spherical objects in a state of constant random motion. Keyword, you guys, constant random motion. Not gas go down, go boom boom. These particles move in a straight line until they collide with another particle or the walls of the container. These particles are much smaller than the distance between particles. Most of the volume of gas is therefore empty space. There is no force of attraction between gas particles. No gravity. Or between the particles and the walls of the container. Collisions between gas particles or collisions with the walls of the container are perfectly elastic. None of the energy of a gas particle is lost when it collides with another particle or the walls of the container. The average kinetic energy of a collection of gas particles depend on the temperature of the gas and nothing else. Oh. Oh. Can we
It
go
says
on
it-
now?
Same thing. It just elaborates a little bit more. What's he trying to say? You've just
The guy's
made
trying
him
to.
read,
Talking bollocks because they've got now. That
Yeah.
basically.
He's
you've made him
trying-
read something twice.
He's trying
That's
to do
it.
what Dell does, just deny kinetic molecule theory. That's what he's trying to do. Where that's exactly what we use when we, I'm sure Candid's got a car, correct? He's got an engine in his car, a combustion engine probably. Tell me again, does that run on the kinetic molecule theory of
Wait.
gases
Wait.
in thermodynamic systems? Yeah.
Wait, right. Igor, Candid, both on you in here now and tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah.
Or
Come.
stop commenting, or I'll boot you out. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I don't get the spherical cow. No. So
Yeah.
enlighten us then. Come on. The link's at the top of the page.
I mean,
Oh, wait, you can't come in, can you, Candid? Because you're a soccer count and you're an idiot hiding behind it.
yeah, you probably full bell, for all we know. It's amazing.
Yes, I mean,
It's amazing grown men have to hide behind fake accounts just to spew bullshit.
But it's okay. But it's okay. We show on screen that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So their arguments are invalid. And frankly, you're a pathetic waste of time. Correct?
Correct, Amundo.
Keep your spherical cow anyway, because it makes as much sense as an oblate spheroid with a radius.
Okay. But then again, let's go on to MIT and how it explains the three different thermodynamic systems, which he says I got wrong.
Classic
Aw.
Candid. Oh, start crying when we give you some insults. Good. I knew you'd say that. That's why I insult you, mate. See you
Poor
later.
victim. Bye-bye, Candid. Poor victimized. He plays victim after he tells me I'm wrong. I bring it up, and he tells me I'm still wrong. I go in the link, and he tells me I'm still wrong. Yeah, that's just called denial, mate. Ignoring the first paragraph. What's the first paragraph? Gases are compressed of large number of particles that behave like hard spherical objects in a state of constant random motion. The experimental observations, that would mean science. You know what experimental means? It means you can do this with experiment, Igor. So I'm not ignoring it. You guys are ignoring that we can do this experiment. And if you go further down, you would see they do experiments using gas laws. Oh boy, what are these gas laws they're talking about? Would that mean it's actually observable in nature? Yes, that would be, Igor. Damn idiot. Okay, let's try again and listen to the guy talking.
After you define what your system is, whatever is left over of the universe is the surroundings.
Yeah, there we go.
If I'm the system, then everything else is the surroundings. You are my surroundings.
That's why it's very important why I always try and open to understand what the system is. That's why I always bang on to everybody when I talk about thermodynamics, why we start with systems. If you understand what a system is, you will understand the basic foundations of building on the rest of the thermodynamic principles. Without knowing what a system is, you cannot know what thermodynamics is. Really simple stuff. Ferris Swiffer, Jeff, I'm trying to understand. So if matter can exchange because of the rubber, is it open? Flatzoid said earlier that the matter can exchange.
Can I just comment though before you explain to him? We had this other day, I think it was in Nathan's chat with Furious Fairfer, and everybody were telling him, and he just kept, I think he's like a duper. Just talking crap.
Okay, but what's the issue here? Is he saying if the tire gets a puncture? Or is it just the tire just gets flat?
I
I don't understand. What's the argument here? If matter can
I think when
exchange...
he's talking about leaking air or something.
Yeah,
Okay, this is...
exchange, if matter can exchange, then it's open.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's put it this way, like a balloon, okay? You can blow a balloon up. The air can stay in there. They can calculate it as a near enough closed system because it takes long enough for the gas to go out, okay? But that doesn't make it a closed system. It's an open system because the gas is able to leave the system. So a tire is in fact not a closed system, it's an open system if it is leaking gas. You get it? It's still an open system. They can calculate it as a near enough closed system because it holds enough gas in for a certain time. But that doesn't make it a closed system. It's theoretically hypothetically a closed system for the time being. But that doesn't make it closed.
Well, if it weren't Nathan's chat, it was this chat, Furious Fairford. But we had hours and hours telling you, everybody telling you the same thing, and you still won't get it.
Yeah. Because even a tire that isn't punctured goes down after a length of time.
Yeah, but I mean,
slowly.
that's normal because the gas is trying to force itself through the system, through the walls.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, that's why we laugh when we get these people saying, oh, the ISS is in space. Okay, explain why there's no degassing. I mean, do you think that same tire you got you under atmospheric pressure, I'm loosely termed to atmospheric, do you think it's going to give the same behavior if you stuck that same tire in a vacuum? No, it will explode because there's no pressure pushing from the outside onto the tire. So yeah, no stress, Furious. I'm trying to explain it as good as I can. Okay, let's carry on with this video. Where were we?
What is energy?
Okay.
Saturn is my surroundings, right? As far as you can go in the universe.
What is energy? It depends what you want to classify it as. Energy has many states. I mean, even if you talk with Einstein, he believed energy and matter to be one and the same thing. You can explain them as the same thing even, which is wrong. Shows you Einstein is just an idiot. Well, was an idiot. Hence why they came up with MC equals E equals MC squared.
Well, yeah.
Because they're trying to say energy and matter can be classified as the same thing, which no. Energy is just the movement, the thermal movement in the part in the atomic scale, which would be the energy.
That's
Which moves the matter around, by the way, just to let you know.
part of the surroundings. And then between the system and the surroundings is the boundary. And the boundary is a surface
Buffering Flatzoid.
that's
Really?
Yeah, you're buffering for me as well.
Why? Everything's showing perfect here by me. We'll wait until it stops buffering before we go on. No load shedding. Everything's showing online. I don't know why it does that. We are looking for another service provider, guys, the internet service provider. But unfortunately, to wait for another one, they're not in this area yet. So we're kind of very limited to who we can use. Yeah. Is it stop buffering? You guys ready to go on?
No. No, it's still buffering.
Why? What's going on?
Stop now.
Okay. Phew. Okay. Let's try again. I don't know why it does that, guys. Let's try it again.
real, like the outside of my skin, or the inner wall of the thermos that has the coffee in it. Or it could be an imaginary boundary. For instance, I can imagine that there's a boundary that surrounds the 4 liters of air that's sitting in the corner there. It doesn't have to be a real container to contain it. It's just an imaginary boundary there. And where you place that boundary becomes important. So, for instance, for the
Exactly, Paula. Gas is not a container. Gas can't contain things because the gas is bouncing around in all directions constantly. So as soon as it has a collision, it just bounces in the opposite direction. So it can't contain anything. You need a container, physical container, for gas pressure to exist. Yeah?
Reify it's because he's saying gas is a fluid medium. I think he's like reificating
Okay.
fluid.
Yeah, you see, gas is classified as fluid because of its fluid tendencies under behaviors, but it doesn't make it a liquid. There's a difference between fluid and liquid. Does that explain it to Glenn? Hey, awesome Lawson, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. And Charlie Walsh, hello.
thermos with the coffee in it, if you place the boundary in the inside wall of the glass or the outside wall of the glass and the inside of the thermos, that makes a difference, the different heat capacity, etc. So this becomes where defining the system and the boundaries and everything becomes important. You've got to place the boundary at exactly the right place. Otherwise, you've got a bit too much in your system or a bit too little.
And just to let you guys know, you don't get an actual isolated system in reality. There's no such thing. That's why it's a hypothetical. They like to explain it with like a thermos with a flask, exactly, just to give you a broad understanding of what it's supposed to do. But it's just a hypothetical because you don't get perfect isolated systems in reality.
If you take a flask to it, your coffee will still get cold.
It just takes longer, exactly. This is why I also laugh when the globers come and say, "Oh, the universe is an isolated system, so thermodynamics only applies to the universe." So what the hell are you talking about? So engines run only with isolated systems then? I mean, we wouldn't have combustion engines if it was that way.
Okay, more definitions. The system can be an open system, or it can be a closed system, or it can be isolated.
There we go.
The definitions are also important.
Awesome. Flatzoid. Gas can't contain anything. Exactly. You can contain gas, but gas can't contain you. Hey, yes, man. Good to see you.
Here. Okay, an open system.
One minute. Clouds aren't contained in surrounding gases. They're just surrounded by gases.
They're in the same system, Glenn.
Wow.
Clouds are in the same system, and clouds are held together by electric charges. I mean, have you realized you get different types of clouds at different elevations with different pressures around them? So it's not the gas that contains the clouds. The clouds are contained by themselves in the system due to the electric charges. I just have to point that out.
As the name describes, allows mass and energy to freely flow through the boundary. Okay. Mass and energy.
Groovy, yeah, E equals mc squared is actually incorrect. Didn't you know this? They've been saying this for years. Even physicists have been trying to explain this. But that's not the topic for discussion tonight, Groovy. We're talking about thermodynamics at the moment. Pay attention to what a system is, then we can move on to something more complex.
Flow through boundary. Okay. Mass and energy flow. I'm an open system. Right? Water vapor goes through my skin. I'm hot compared to the air of the room, or cold if I'm somewhere that's warm. So energy can go back and forth. The thermos, with a lid on top, is not an open system. Hopefully your coffee is going to stay warm or hot in the thermos, right? It's not going to get out. So the thermos is not an open system. In fact, the thermos is an isolated system.
See what I'm saying? They're explaining the thermos as an isolated system because they're explaining it as energy and matter not leaving, which is actually false, but it's just a hypothetical system. A thermos is actually just a closed system because there is still energy lost to the surroundings. I mean, if you take a flask and you feel it get hot and you stick it on a counter, after a while you can pick it up and you'll feel that heat on the countertop.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because the energy is released into the surrounding system, which makes it a closed system, not an isolated system. Groovy, I never said anything wrong about nuclear power, mate. You're totally misunderstanding why we're saying E equals mc squared is wrong. Like I said, that's another topic for discussion. Stop trying to derail the argument here and pay attention to what the systems we're talking about. Yeah, it's a non sequitur, exactly, Taylor.
The isolated system is the opposite of the open system. No mass and no energy can flow through the boundary. The closed system allows energy to transfer through the boundary, but not mass. So a closed system would be, for instance, a glass of ice water with an ice cube in it with a lid on top. Right? The glass is not very insulating. Energy can flow across the glass, but I put a lid on top, and so the water can't get out. Right? That's a closed system. Energy goes through the boundary, but nothing else.
Cool. So, I got this pipe here, guys. Would this be considered a closed system? It's got a lid.
Yeah.
It's got a lid.
Glenn, wait 1 minute. Glenn, gases are all bouncing in different directions. They're mixed together.
Yeah. Wow.
I think you're wrong, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So we got. Yeah, we got the closed system here. Okay. So there's gas inside here. There's gas around in the surrounding system. I can take, let's say, a hairdryer and I can heat it up, and the gas inside here will start expanding because of the energy transfer. Now I can take the same system and just put it down, and the energy inside that system will transfer to the outside of the system. Remember, gas doesn't transfer energies between, but the thermal energies can change. That's why you have to understand thermal energies is the difference than kinetic energy of a gas. Now, when I open this system, it's open now. See? Blue ball pipe, remember? There's air inside, air outside. Energy and matter can flow freely and fully. I can put things in the system. Alright, if I need something, I'll fit. Okay, something can go in the system. See? Can come out. Matter. You see? Substance. Now if I close the system, it can't get out. Sorry that I have to be so rudimentary, dumbed down to the globers so they understand the difference. Now I've got a question for everybody on the panel. According to the globe, is it classified as an open or closed system?
What is? Are we?
Yeah.
We're classed as an open system.
No, but the globe, as they say, the globe work. Do they classify Earth as an open or closed system?
Yeah, closed.
So where's their boundary?
They say gravity is their boundary.
But we just read with gas particles that gravity has no effect on gas particles.
Exactly.
And what happens if it's a closed system? How do they let their so-called astronauts and satellites and things out of this boundary?
Oh, yeah. Yep,
Cheers, Jeff. Thank you for coming, mate. Really appreciate you coming. You rock. Huh? Groovy. The thermal energy gets transferred, not the kinetic energy of the gases. So the gases, how can I put it, on the atomic level, are jiggling fast when they heat it up. Okay? So they expand. So the gas expands. How can I put it? I'm trying to see if I can explain this somehow.
The heat excites the gases, doesn't it? And then it expands.
Let's just say these are gas particles or whatever, okay? They're the part of a gas, okay? And it gets heated up. The gas expands. You understand? So they jiggle around a bit more on the inside. This will be the thermal energy of the intermolecular bonds inside the gas itself. So the gas will be moving around, expanded. Okay? The kinetic energy does not change. The thermal energy is what is transferred from its intermolecular so-called internals to the system. So the gas would hit a wall, it doesn't transfer that energy, and the gas would hit another gas, it will not transfer that energy. All that gets transferred is the thermal energy of its intermolecular bonds. So it's no elastic collision with the wall of the... What's wrong with this guy? Has he got some kind of brain damage issue or something?
What's Flatzoid's fatal flaw? Tell us.
Yeah, please, what's up?
Problem is, every video you show, every citation you can get will prove them wrong, and yet they still deny it.
No.
It's idiocy at its best.
It's crazy. Jim Smith, gravity does affect gases. They are a matter and have gravity. Okay, should we go back to what we read here? Jim? There is no force of attraction between gas particles or between the particles and the walls of the container. Tell me again where your gravity is there.
You haven't provided photographic proof that those molecules...
You haven't provided photographic proof you've got a brain duper. Bam!
Okay. Let's put this what this is read. The assumptions behind the kinetic molecule theory can be illustrated, actually, demonstrated, guys, with the apparatus shown in figure below, which consists of a glass plate surrounding by walls mounted on top 3 vibrating motors, a handful of steel ball bearings, and placed on top of the glass plate to represent gas particles. Ooh, they can actually explain it to you guys. And yes, guys, you can do actual experiments using gas laws to literally show this theory to be true. It actually goes through experimentation. This is what you call a scientific theory then, guys, because it's gone through scientific validation. It's not just your colloquial belief system like gravity that hasn't gone through experimentation. Oh, now Groovy Sam reading some postulates. It's not a postulate, mate. It's the kinetic molecule theory. Let's go to the postulates. Okay, is that the postulates? Yeah, but so what if it's the postulates? Following the postulates or assumptions. It's like you asked for photographic proof of the curvature. I asked for photograph. Okay, tell me, how am I going to have a photograph of molecules? Please tell me that. If something is too small... Faciality, thank you for coming. Being a member 10 months. It says Dal's music video is funny. I'm still laughing. I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. Really, really. I had fun working on it. But I still got more coming, guys. Don't worry. Yeah. So anyway, I've got an idea for these guys that claim gravity does something on gas. Okay. Go and do a demonstration of gas holding down, of gravity holding gas down indefinitely. How's that? Can someone do that for us? Oh, wait, I got a better idea. Let's get an actual baller telling you something like this. Wait. I think it was in the shorts. There we go.
It's very cold when it goes in there.
Yeah, it will get cold.
Yes, but why, Flatzoid? Why will it get cold?
That's how it works. The gas is filling the available space at a very
But why does it get cold, Flatzoid? That's the question.
high speed.
Expansion, yeah.
Oh, it's because it's at high speed it gets cold?
Yes, expands.
What?
Instantaneously.
What?
But anyway, he goes...
So that's why it gets cold, because the gas is filling the container continuously at high speed. That's your explanation of why it gets cold.
I thought it was because when gas expands, it gets cold.
But what does that steam do? Begin with an X. Expand. And when it expands, what's it do? Begin with another C. Cool. And there's your evidence of it right there.
Okay, that wasn't the one I was looking for. I think it was the video. Hey, Co-Mover, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. I think it was this one. No. Which one is it for the gas? I think it was that one. It had to be this one. Where you talk about the gas pressure? No, I don't think it's that one. Was it so far back? Photograph of carbon dioxide. Hey, Original D-Rose, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming.
Don't answer him, Flatzoid.
No, I saw something. Jim Smith, sulfur hexafluoride pools for a time. Oh, so not indefinitely. So he just debunked his own argument with his own
I
statement.
just told him he's pissing up there as dumb as Sean by saying that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm looking for with Sean Hawkins? Oh, there we go. This is the video. It's good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. So, as you all know, last night we had a stream. 27 questions for Glovers. If you haven't watched it already, please do go and watch it. Anyway, Sean Hawkins loves to do live streams while I'm live streaming on what I'm live streaming. Yeah. Anyway, I just had to share this because he literally went out of his way and debunked the globe's claim that gravity is container. Yeah, literally debunked it without even realizing it. Sit back and enjoy the comedy gold.
Space is real, their dome isn't, and their argument is done. Now, unfortunately for them, it's actually pretty easy to disprove that nonsense, and we've done it. The first part of this demonstration was done a few weeks ago in the shop and included in another video, and I'll put a link for that in the comments. But now I've taken it outside where I can demonstrate a much higher gas pressure with a taller pipe.
Pipe. There we go. He's just debunked himself again. What's a pipe?
Pipe is not a pressurized gas vessel. Not a gas container. Pipe is a bucket.
Let's rewind that again.
Pipe is not a pressurized gas vessel. Not a gas container. Pipe is a bucket.
Does a pipe contain things?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But it's not a pressurized gas container. You dipshit.
And let's rewind it once again.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But it's not a pressurized gas container. You dipshit.
Oh, I hate to comment on that. I did. I mean,
So, a container full?
Yeah, go by 45 pounds of propane in a bucket. Do that, Flatzoid. Go bring me 45 pounds of propane in a bucket, in a 5-gallon bucket. Do that.
Yeah.
Because you know how big a 45-pound gas container is, or 25 pounds. 25-pound gas container. Do that, Flatzoid. Because that's about the size of a 5-gallon bucket, that tank. So go and buy me 25 pounds of gas from a propane dealer, in a 5-gallon bucket. Do that. And then I might take you fucking seriously.
Don't call him stupid, please don't call him stupid.
Stupid. Boy, how do I explain this to you easily, Sean? Yes. Open container, gravity not holding gas in it indefinitely, so therefore, bye-bye gas pressure.
As they're pouring this propane into this 5-gallon bucket,
hey, Dalla,
why isn't it containing 25 gallons of propane, Flatzoid? Why isn't it doing that? Maybe because it's not a gas container? God damn, he's dumb.
God damn, he's dumb.
Projection, Sean.
So tell me again, Globies, what is gravity supposed to be doing to gas? Doesn't hold it down. Gas moves around in all directions constantly. Uh-oh. It's crazy. Yeah, that eyebrow, Paula. Okay, where were we? Okay, that's
not
about
his eyebrow. That's not his eyebrow, it's his fringe. It just fell down.
Okay, so I practically just explained the very bare minimal fundamentals of the thermodynamic system so people understand the difference. So hopefully you would understand that, and then pay attention for when I do the presentation on Wednesday.
He's very nasty, Iron, but he's also very dumb as well.
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
The thing is, Sean, man, as well. I was never ever able to ban him. I was always able to time that. I could never ban them. It's funny.
Oh, I think I got another video on my channel that I did when I first started my channel, guys, with everybody's favorite Mr. Was a Scientist. Come on, let's quickly get it. Yeah, let's just first show you guys this. Oh, adverts. 31 seconds. Come on, there we go. Listen to what FDFE says, guys.
So, what natural laws is it that you think the globe violates? Let's try and avoid talking about reification fallacies and stuff and what is and isn't a model, and just try and focus on the natural laws that we've been talking about and what it is you think about the globe that violates them. You mentioned the first law of thermodynamics, and you mentioned a natural law of entropy. So what one do you want to talk about?
Well, you can choose any one. It doesn't matter.
Well, okay. Let's.
You want to go first?
Well, let's start with the natural law of entropy. What is that law that you're talking about?
The second law of thermodynamics.
Okay, right, cool. That's easy. I did 18 months of thermodynamics in my degree, so I know quite a lot about thermodynamics. So, what is the second? Could you just tell me what your understanding of what the second law of thermodynamics is?
Well, the second law of thermodynamics, it's more. You can say it's more concerned with entropy. which is produced by a process and is associated with the loss of ability to do work. The second law states that the entropy of the universe increases. So we do agree entropy can't decrease. It's always going to increase.
I would. Right. Okay. Let's start with a very important thing about the second law of thermodynamics, and that is the type of system that it deals with. What kind of system is that?
Are you saying it's isolated systems?
Well, that is what the second law of thermodynamics is, isn't it? Because the second law of thermodynamics deals with entropic processes within an isolated.
Thermodynamics involves the study of various systems, as pointed on screen. A system in thermodynamics is nothing more than the collection of matter that is being studied. A system could be water within one side of a heat exchanger, the fluid inside the length of a pipe, or the entire lubricating oil system of a diesel engine. So not thermodynamic systems, FTFE, various systems. Uh-oh. But you see, this is the thing why I just laugh at these guys. They always try and say, I studied this, I have a PhD, I know this stuff. But they just show to actually know sweet bugger all.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Glenn, what Flatzoid just said? You've just done exactly the same, mate.
Yeah, so yes.
I have a state certification in HVAC. I think I grasp a little more than you appreciate, but that's okay. Your opinion is yours. All I can say is clouds are not contained by gas, mate.
Definitely not. In the same region.
Like I said, we can do it this way, Glenn. Different type of clouds. You get different type of clouds, correct? Yeah. Have you noticed that you get clouds, let's say 10 kilometers up? Would there be less air at 10 kilometers up compared to 2 kilometers up?
Just a fair bit less, yeah.
And there's still clouds, correct?
Yeah.
So tell me again, what gas is containing the clouds at 10 kilometers up? Yeah, it's not the clouds contained by gas. Clouds have electrostatic kind of bonds to them. That's what keeps them together. This has been shown. People can recreate clouds if they want to as well.
That and candy floss. Candy floss is kind of sticky, so it kind of adheres together. It's all good.
System. So the isolated system that it's talking about is the universe, right?
Okay. So you're saying that could be an isolated system?
I'm saying that the universe is an isolated system. And that is what the second law of thermodynamics refers to. And it is an absolute fact that the entropy of the isolated system, the universe, always increases.
Correct. And Earth, is it closed or open?
Earth is classed as a closed system in physics.
That's not true because you claim to have astronauts leaving Earth. So
Yeah, a closed system in physics allows for the transfer of small parts of matter and energy. It's not completely isolated like an isolated system. It allows for some transfer of energy between systems. Whereas obviously an open system and isolated system are the other ends of those. So when we're talking about systems, the Earth is classed as a closed system, and the universe is the only isolated system that there is. And I will agree with you that the entropy of an isolated system will always increase. But that doesn't mean that you cannot have systems within that isolated system that within their own isolated part reverse the laws of entropy. For instance, what happens inside your fridge freezer? Well, from the perspective of inside the fridge freezer, the laws of entropy are being reversed.
Thank you, Titan Longwait. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
of course, if you look at the larger system of that, the process of the fridge freezer doing that releases heat into the room that it's included in. So,
Oh, Glenn, there's definitely less gas particles higher up, mate.
Wow.
It's measured less gas particles. That's why it's PSI, pounds per square inch.
You're saying atmosphere and all, like we don't live on a ball. There's no atmosphere.
Glenn, I'm not understanding what your argument is, mate. Because
I
you
mean,
say
gas is a container.
just because there's less oxygen up there doesn't mean there's not less air up there. It's called PSI for a reason, pounds per square inch. That means there's less particles per square inch. So less gas the higher you go up. It's common sense, this, mate.
the entropy of the room that the fridge freezer in has increased, but the entropy within the fridge freezer itself has decreased. And that's what the second law of thermodynamics talks about. And as the Earth isn't an isolated system, it's not bound by the second law of thermodynamics that entropy can only increase, because it's not an isolated system.
Okay, can I give
over to you.
So are you trying to tell me then Earth is an isothermic system like a fridge? You know that's a constant.
I'm saying that Earth is a closed system and not an isolated system. It's a microsystem within the larger isolated system.
You know what the isothermic system is? You just explained it with the fridge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Earth
Within
a constant temperature.
Earth has a constant energy input and output.
So PVO and NRT is wrong now.
Well, that's an ideal gas law.
Everything. Yeah, but
Glenn, Craig is not right about that. He equivocated Earth as a closed system, and he tried to explain the universe as an isolated system with a fridge. That would entail that there is a system beyond the isolated system of a fridge. A fridge is not an isolated system, mate. It transfers energy. That's it's an isothermic system. It's a closed isothermic system, not an isolated system, Glenn. So he's not correct. Why are you going? I don't know. Someone hacked Glenn's account or something tonight, because he's not the same Glenn that I usually know now.
Yeah.
What's going on, mate?
You're saying everything is constant. That's not true.
No, I'm not saying everything is constant. I'm saying that the energy of a closed system or an open system can reverse.
Exactly, Kleb. In a closed system, there are no transfers of matter, only energy.
Entropy within that particular system. And this is what I mean, okay? The second law of thermodynamics states that the entropy of an isolated system will always increase. It doesn't talk about a closed system. So,
okay, let's do it this way for this guy. Let's do I want to see if I can. Let's do it this way. Let's draw a closed system quickly, just for Craig. We have a closed system, and we have the universe in another system. Okay. Now we got a open system inside that closed system. Well, we're going to have another closed system enclose that closed system for now. And this closed system has gas particles in them. We're going to just say for fun's sakes, there's some gas bouncing around in this closed system. Sorry, in this closed system inside this closed system. Yeah, it's bouncing around in all directions. So, what's going to happen with this closed system if we had opened now, taken the lid off of this closed system, guys? Now this is an open system. What's going to happen with this system? Entropy will increase, correct?
course. Yeah, that's just to fill the available space of that closed system.
Yeah, so entropy will increase. I don't think... see, this is the problem with FTV. He doesn't understand the difference with macrostates and microstates. I think that's his issue. Craig said you have a separate system within a system. That's correct. A balloon is an example. A balloon is an open system, mate. It's literally letting gases out while it's letting energy in and out at the same time, Glenn.
Grip.
There's a very subtle thing that Craig is leaving out there.
When flat earthers in general say, well, the Earth violates the second law of thermodynamics because the atmosphere is next to space, that is a strongman, because we're not saying that it's violating any laws. That's what you guys are saying. We're saying that it's not an isolated system, so it's not bound by those strict definitions of the second law of thermodynamics.
Okay, so then Craig has to explain to us what an engine is. Because last time I checked, an engine is not an isolated system. And it definitely abides by thermodynamics. It's a law of nature. Entropy is a law of nature. It doesn't choose which kind of system it wants to work through. And this is supposed to be a guy that studied thermodynamics, guys.
The isolated system is the universe.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Glenn, what ozone layer? There's no such thing as an ozone layer. What you talking about? What's going on here, Glenn? You're starting to sound more and more like a glober here.
Yeah. Somebody's got to factory they can't, man.
You've heard about that quote from
Arthur Eddington, yeah.
You're going to say Bill Nye, right?
From Arthur Eddington. If your theory is found to be against the second law of thermodynamics, I give you no hope. There is nothing for it but to collapse in the deepest humiliation. You understand that, right?
Yep, and it's not against the second law of thermodynamics.
No, he's not a total idiot. He's just dishonest. That I'd say.
It is because you just said that you are reversing entropy. Entropy can't reverse.
In an isolated system. The Earth isn't an isolated system. Yes, and you're correct. You're correct. And a closed system is not an isolated system. And the second law of thermodynamics, if you actually cite the actual second law of thermodynamics, it specifically mentions the entropy of an isolated system can only increase. It doesn't say that the entropy of a closed system.
The second law of thermodynamics states that in a closed system, no processes will tend to occur that increase the net organization or decrease the net entropy of the system. Thus, the universe taken as a whole steady moving towards a state of complete randomness. Like I explained here. Open system inside closed system, the entropy will increase from the closed system. Because you got more microstates. More chaos. Glenn Sells, a closed balloon is not an open system, it's an isolated system. Oh my bloody word.
What? A closed balloon is an isolated system?
Oh my word.
It's got to be. Well, this is not Glenn. This is not Glenn.
No, sorry. Glenn, I think you might need sleep, mate. Look at this.
Can't be Glenn.
That is on par for being one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. In fact, I'm screenshotting that comment. That's how stupid it is.
Okay.
No. Glenn, this is from 12th of March 2022. This is in no videos. This is not Glenn, is it?
Okay. Glenn, let's put to this, okay? Boyle's law with a balloon. Okay, now this is a balloon. Tell me what's happening here. Please. Be sure to show me where it's an isolated system, okay?
Expands to try and equalize the pressure. Volume and pressure are inversely related to each other. When we release the vacuum, the pressure increases and the volume decreases. As another demonstration of Boyle...
No, I want to show another one. I want to show with the heat.
I don't think it is Glenn because this guy's got no subscribers. He's
Welcome
not
back to Kids
subscribed to anybody or anything. It can't be Glenn.
No, but that's the thing. It looks exactly like Glenn Solskjaer's.
It does, but surely he'd be subscribed to people. He's got no channel subscriptions or anything.
I don't know. But anyway, pay attention here quickly, Glenn, and then tell me if it's an isolated system.
Over the top of it, not filled, just like that, deflated. And then you're going to take a nail and you're going to poke a hole in the bottom of the 2 liter bottle. Somewhere.
Poke a hole in the bottom of the tube of the bottle. It's going to suck it right in there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I want to actually say, let's see if you heat a balloon.
I've ended up listening to this idiot anyway.
I don't know. Just because it's such a stupid comment, we have to show the guy doesn't. Yeah.
With more experiments on the idea that warm air rises, heat rises. So why? You could see that heat rises with different experiments that we've already shown you. Why is that happening? So to show you that, I have a bottle with a balloon on top, and what's inside the bottle?
Air.
Air.
Wow. Congratulations. Now we're going to heat it
inside
up.
that bottle. Well, we can do something to that air. We can heat it or cool it to show you what's happening. And just so you can see what's happening, I put the balloon on top to capture that air. So I have a hot plate. I'm heating up a...
Okay. Anyway, you see it's going to start filling up. This wouldn't happen if it was an isolated system, would it? Would the energy be transferred if it was an isolated system? Obviously, he's using a bottle now, but you can do this with an ordinary blown up balloon as well. On a hot day, the balloon expands. On a cold day, it shrinks. What happens if you throw some cold water on a balloon? It starts shrinking. Why? Because it's not isolated. Glenn, the mere fact you think a balloon is an isolated system is a joke. So yeah, you're definitely going to say Craig is correct when he's definitely not correct.
All right. Duper Poons is not a Glover anymore. He's neutral. Yeah.
Okay. Duper, I'm going to explain to Duper quickly why a balloon is an open system. Do I really have to do this? Okay. This is a balloon. Yeah?
I'm just going to say I could explain it in like about a second.
Very simple. Duper Poons, this is a balloon. We got gas inside this balloon, correct? It's bouncing all over the place. Okay? What happens when you leave this balloon over time? Let's say you've filled it up with helium and it's floating. The next day you come back and it seemed to have shrunk. Why would that happen if it's a closed system? Duper? Give me one question. Give me one answer there. How would the balloon get smaller, have less air in it, if it's a closed system, Duper? Let's see if you'll figure that out. Do you think he's going to figure it out?
Duper. Ooh.
Look on screen here. What's going here? What does a closed system tell you, Duper? No matter, that would be gas. Only energy exchange, correct? Does the gas leave the balloon, Duper? There we go, Duper, because some helium has left. So therefore, open system. Oh boy. Not closed. What is wrong with people? Oh, no, we're looking for another video. And I got sidetracked with FTFE.
Because some helium left, he said. we weren't talking about helium. We were just talking about air. Oxygen.
It doesn't matter. The thing is, it's made my point.
I know, but still. Never given.
Whereas if you heat that harder, then they begin to get loose and roll all over each other, and that's the liquid. And if you heat that still harder and they bounce harder, then they simply bounce apart from each other, and they're just individual, I say atoms, there's really little groups of atoms, molecules, which come flying and hit, and although they have a tendency to stick, they're moving too fast.
Glenn, I just explained to you, a balloon observed always shows to be an open system, not isolated. I don't know where you live in, but you might need to get your head checked. Okay?
Wow.
A balloon gets smaller and bigger by just giving it more energy or less energy from a surrounding system. That's why you can leave a helium balloon in a car and it's a hot day, it can blow up, it bursts. Why? Because the energy transfer from the surrounding system, aka not isolated. There is no such thing as an isolated system, Glenn. It's a hypothetical. Exactly, Rachel. Good to see you. They're porous. They have tiny microscopic holes in the surface through which gases can escape. You can see them and they are there. Thank you for coming, Rachel. Correct. I don't know why we have to fight about this with some people.
Their hands don't grab, so to speak, as they pass, and they fly apart again. And this is the gas we call steam.
What's that?
You can get all kinds of understanding. When I was a kid with this air, which I was always interested in, I noticed that when I pumped up my tires in a bicycle, you can learn a lot by having a bicycle. I'd pump up the tires that the pump would get hot. And that also understandable. See, as the pump handle comes down and the atoms are coming up against it and bouncing off, and it's moving in, the ones that are coming off have a bigger speed than the ones that are coming in, so that as it comes down, and each time they collide, it speeds them up. And so they're hotter. When you compress the gas, it heats. And when you pull the piston back out, then atoms which are coming fast at the piston feel a receding.
No, guys, he's talking about atoms, yeah, not gas particles.
Yeah.
This is why you should know the difference between it's the internal thermal energy, isolated, impenetrable. Exactly, Bible.
Or sort of a give, it gives and it comes out with less energy. It's like going up against something which is soft and yielding. It goes boom, boom, and it loses. So as you pull the piston out and the atoms are hit, they lose their speed and they cool off. And gases cool when they expand.
You see what I'm saying? It heats up, the gas itself expands. The thermal energy expands, which moves faster. It's the internal jiggling, not the gas itself. The internal jiggling. The gas expands. When it cools down, it gets smaller. That's how it works. Like I said, I'm going to give the presentation on Wednesday. So, any questions? Anything to say?
Wow, Glenn.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it is Glenn, but wow, if it is. And that's all there is to say on that. And
Jim Smith says that's a red herring argument. What if it was an extremely dense gas that cannot pass through the balloon? The argument is about theoretical impervious balloon as a closed system. You don't get closed system balloons, Jim. That's the whole point. It's an open system. No matter what gas you got in there, it's still going to disperse eventually, mate.
And we're not talking theoretical, we're talking reality.
Yeah, and show me a pinhole of the balloon that's smaller than any gas particle. It's impossible. Gas particles are much smaller than the structure of a balloon. Yes, it's considered can be calculated as a closed system, Duper, but it doesn't make it a closed system.
But it is porous. The balloon is porous in itself, so it can't be.
Yep. It's a variable like glow BS can be spread out nearly indefinitely. Open systems can hold pressure as long as they are exchanging matter, even if very slowly. What? Glenn says that's what I said. What did Glenn say? I'm getting confused here.
So am I.
Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. What are we gonna watch? Let's say heating a gas. Oh, by the way, guys, thanks for coming. Do hit the likes and share the show. Gas expansion, balloon experiment again. Expansion of gases in gases. Ooh.
Expansion in gases.
Yay.
At the end of the session, you will be able to
explain why gas expands. Yeah, explains why heating and contracts on cooling. Okay. Explain why gas expands more than solids or liquids. Wait, I said that gas doesn't leave the balloon, it just loses kinetic energy to expand it. The gas does leave the balloon, Glenn. Maybe you didn't pay attention.
I think he's drinking or something.
Yeah, it does leave the balloon, mate.
Well, you either drinking or just trolling for the sake of it.
He's playing Glober tonight, guys.
its volume increases. This
I know Sabina did an entropy video recently and showed she doesn't know what entropy is.
I can't stand watching Sabina.
Sabina showed she didn't understand entropy, which was actually sad. You would think she would know what entropy is. But she just has to misrepresent it because it would violate her belief system.
increase in volume of any substance is known as expansion. Gas expands when it is heated. The molecules of any gas are not bound to each other. Therefore, on heating, the vibrations of these molecules increase, and as a result, the average distance between the molecules also increase.
You see? The average distance between the molecules increase, guys.
Similarly, when it is cooled, it contracts. Let us perform the following experiment. Take an experimental set which includes a flask, beaker filled with water, a narrow glass tube, a rubber cork with a hole, and a Bunsen burner.
Stick the cork on the flask. Stick the flask over the Bunsen burner. Stick the Bunsen burner and connect it to the water. You will see when it heats, the gas will expand and go through the tube into the water and therefore give bubbles.
As shown. Heat the flask. The air inside the flask expands and escapes out of the flask through the tube into the water. You will notice bubbles of air in the water. Now allow the flask to cool down. On cooling, the air inside the flask
picks up the water because it creates a vacuum.
Contracts, and you will see water rising up the tube. Therefore, gas expands on heating and contracts on cooling. A solid has a fixed volume and shape.
But we just needed to know the gas, so. Very simple stuff, guys. Wow, that was fun. Tonight was just very chill, I have to say.
It was. Good. And you'd think it was the weekend. Because I think Glenn Sauls has turned into Glenn Fiddick.
If you think helium's not leaving balloon, right, try breathing that helium in when it's gone all the way down and see if it makes your voice squeak.
Hey,
Excuse me.
original.
Hey,
how's it
what's
going?
up? I just want to ask, who was the Charles Manson looking guy from about 30 minutes ago that was asking you to bring a bucket?
Oh, Sean Hawkins.
Propane.
Sean Hawkins.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Charles Manson.
He does. He does look a
Yeah.
bit like.
Because the guy's so
He
dumb.
looks like, yeah.
The guy's so dumb. He's the one making the claim that gravity holds gas down, and then asked me to telling me I should bring a bucket and see why gravity's not holding it down. It's crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, any closing statements?
No, I mean it was very educational, wasn't it?
Yeah, you've upset me tonight because you made me have to watch Craig.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He was on for a minute. How long ago was that flat you were talking to him? That was quite a while ago, wasn't it?
That was when I just started my channel about.
Yeah, I was got to say it was a fair.
Yeah, about over 3 years
That was
ago.
Flatzoid, wasn't it?
That was like literally when I just started. I think it was my first debate. That, by the way.
I did think it was a little while ago. So I'd never seen that one before. Never.
Very old.
Yeah, that's Sean Hawkins. He's usually on all the time, but he's disappeared.
No,
He
these
does look
days all he does is just play computer games and practice guitar. He's realized he can't win the flat Earth argument, so he stays away from that now.
Everybody calls him a method.
Yeah. So yeah, guys.
Are you talking about Dale?
No, Sean Hawkins.
Oh.
No, Dale.
Oh, okay. Did y'all hear his new single? Dale's new single. He got a new single coming out. His album is called "Go." Don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. Earth will meet you in the middle. and the new single I think goes like this: Earth is rising, you're not falling. I'm a flat earther who believes in ballers.
That's good.
Yeah, well, he had a live stream today, and I was at work, and I said, okay, quickly, and I just went to type one message in to say thank you for, demonstrating it's stationary. Well, he just started going off and telling everybody, ignore Flatzoid, don't talk to him. And now he apparently wants to talk to me again. No, it's okay. I gave him his chance to talk, and he just gets triggered, and you saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is a total... I'm not going to say the word. Just now it's going to get monetized.
And the funny thing is, all the demonstrations they do with the ping pong, with the bed spring and the water bottle and all that stuff.
It
like
shows
that.
it's stationary. That's the sad thing.
But why don't they all get into a big ass water tank like Houdini did, 50 stories from high, and one hold the ping pong, the other one hold the glass of water, and just drop their ass. And let's see that demonstration, because we don't experience what the ping pong experience. We don't experience what the bottled water experience. We don't experience whatever they doing. They're doing demonstrations that we don't experience on a daily basis as we go outside each and every day.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
so it's not a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, but like I wanted to explain to him before he kicked me off, was why terminal velocity would debunk their argument. Because if they would get their so-called density tower and drop it from high enough that it would reach terminal velocity, you would agree that it would then sort itself out again, correct? Because it's not everything is accelerating at the same rate anymore. So it would become separated again, while it is still moving towards the uprising Earth. So therefore it's not the uprising Earth causing the density arrangement. But they don't want to hear this, do they?
No. You don't.
It's crazy. Yeah, gas particles move in all directions. They have perfect elastic collisions. So I'm going to say thanks, guys, for coming. Remember, tomorrow night...
Stop bullying people who believe the Earth is a globe. I thought you were neutral now, Duper. Make up your mind.
Duper's just a troll, man.
I know. I'm joking, man. He's an idiot.
Duper's a concaver. Didn't you know that?
Klondike.
Klondike.
Oh yes, I saw him in the house. Duper the pooper scooper poons.
Yeah, that's the one.
So yeah, tomorrow night Michael's going to have an awesome stream. Guys, going to be watching some
I
funny
don't know
space.
about awesome, right?
Ah, no, it's going to be good, man. Watching some Spacey's fake stuff. So you guys definitely going to enjoy that, and I'm going to be working on my presentation.
Just me and PJ left to us, sense to talk.
I know, innit? So anybody wants to get on the panel, just jump on in.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, please do show up tomorrow. Appreciate everybody coming. Please hit the likes, share the show. You guys rock. And then I guess that's about it.
What time is that tomorrow?
Same time, 8 o'clock, isn't it?
8 p.m. UK. I'm not sure what time that would be for you.
Okay, all right.
So yeah. So I'll see you guys.
If you want to join D-Rose, just come into YouTube chat and I'll get a link.
Yeah, I'll look for it. That's how I found this one.
Awesome.
I'll look for it because YouTube's notifications are funny sometimes. I'll get them, sometimes I won't.
Yeah.
Okay, so cheers, guys. Must have an awesome evening further. Many
You too.
blessings,
All
and
right.
I'll see you guys again Wednesday. Cheers.
One of the principles of the particle model of matter is that all particles are in constant random motion.
Here we go, there's Flatzoid in, the one that misrepresents me continually. Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied, what has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. Flatzoid, right, misrepresented me, right? I don't deny gas, I deny the conceptual mathematical depiction of gas, that being little dots. Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied, what has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. Flatzoid, right, misrepresented me, right? I don't deny gas, I deny the conceptual mathematical depiction of gas, that being little dots. Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied, what has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. You're running around in circles talking utter shite, you know? So they make all these idiotic statements. I hear them recently talking about gas and gas particles and this, that and the other. Gas particles bounce off of each, back to globe rhetoric again. These people are showing you that they're pushing globe rhetoric continually. Gas particles. For one, you're assuming that gas is little individual balls of stuff, and they depict that by drawing it such. These little dots of gas that bounce off each other. I'm going to ask a very simple fucking question. If you're going to depict gas particles as being little individual stuffs, what's between them?
And we can demonstrate that with the diffusion of gases with an experiment in which we react ammonia with hydrochloric acid, NH3, with HCl.
Can anybody point to me any time that I ever denied, what has it said? I love how you deny gas particles. Gas particles. For one, you're assuming that gas is little individual balls of stuff, and they depict that by drawing it such. Right? That's what I deny. And Flatzoid knows that fine well. So Flatzoid thought he was going to debunk me. Ha ha ha! Dell denies particles. Oh, doesn't even realise he's in heliocentric globetard land. I love how you deny gas particles. Right? That's what I deny. And Flatzoid knows that fine well. I love how you deny gas particles. Right? That's what I deny. And Flatzoid knows that fine well.
The reason why we do that is to show you that gases move at different speeds.
Right? That's what I deny. And Flatzoid knows that fine well.
And this shows us that gases are able to diffuse because they are in constant motion.
love how you deny gas particles. Right, that's what I deny, and Flatzoid knows that very well.
What this shows us, or what this demonstrates, is very clearly that these gases have been able to move through the air that is inside this tube, and also it has shown us that the ammonia gas has travelled a far greater distance than the hydrochloric acid gas.
Right, that's what I deny, and Flatzoid knows that very well.
Which tells us that not only do gases move, but gases move at different speeds. The main reason for this difference in speed here is that ammonia is a much smaller molecule, much lighter molecule than the hydrochloric acid molecule, which explains why the ammonia has covered a greater distance before colliding and then reacting with the hydrochloric acid molecule that forms this white powder that we now see that makes this cloud, and eventually would form a white precipitate on the bottom of the tube.
Right, atomism, little balls of stuff, cuckoo, retard.